Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. Guys, I'm here in front of this collection. I'm sitting here in front of, I don't know, what is it, 20K just in these three walls. And it's a tragedy. It really is. You know, every year, thousands, and I mean thousands, of six-figure households have to pay for their own toys. It's crazy. When I sit here and look at this incomplete collection, I wonder, how can the community let this be? How can this happen? How come they're not stepping up? Huh? Here's where the sad piano music goes in, right? And every year thousands of well-to-do families and YouTubers have to pay for their own things. They have to pay for their own video games. They have to pay for their own arcades. Now, I know what some haters are saying. Maybe your wife is a lawyer. Maybe you're an accountant. That's six figures. I am so privileged that I weigh probably the amount of two human beings because I can consume that many calories because I have that much cheddar. But you don't understand. I don't want to buy things with my money. I need to buy things with your money, right? I want to get things for free from the vendors and have you pay for all this maintenance that I have to do, all this suffering. Hey, this takes money to do that I would have spent anyway, but if you paid for it, it's a little bit better. Guys, how are these people reproducing themselves in every community? Some people say, hey, you know what? It's John D's fault. It really is John D. He's the common denominator in all these companies. I don't know if that's true or not, right? I think everybody has a choice. John D may propose something, but you have to say yes, right? He might propose to do something, whatever it is. You're the one who has to drop trout and bend over, right? And that's what a shill is, right? If you want a shill, great. There's great shills out there. He doesn't pick the best ones, in my opinion, because let's face it, if you were a game weenie, would you trust a game weenie to tell you the truth? Somebody that will say anything to get free products, anything for views, anything, right? Do you trust that opinion? No. Most of us watch these YouTubers from time to time because it's entertaining. Because in life, these things would never happen. It would never happen, right? A person that has a six-figure household would never come up to you and beg for money to pay for their hobby, right? To pay for their midlife crisis, as the AI script called it. I didn't come up with that. When I typed in the situation of everything that was happening, guys, it said, it sounds like a middle-aged man is having a middle-aged crisis. Yeah. That's what it sounds like. People going through that kind of stuff do pretty weird stuff. For me, it was a Charlie Sheen. That was before I got married, though. But, everybody does the crazy stuff out there. Nobody's immune from it, right? But nobody begs. Nobody begs for their midlife crisis. Nobody does it better than YouTubers, right? If Darkside Phil made any contributions to this YouTube bracket, is that. Look at, let's look at Media One Up here. Why are those cabinets not on here, prominently displayed? It's crazy, right? What about Iconic Arcade? Can I order them there? Oops. What's going on? Well, we can always rely on Arcade One Up, right? But, the business is so slow. The content just isn't there. It looks like this year's picking up a little bit. For a lot of us, we like looking at this behavior and just laughing at it because it's so weird. It's stuff that people would not do, right? You wouldn't ask your neighbors. You wouldn't ask your friends to fund your hobby. When you clearly don't need the money, guys. For those of you, for example, in the U.S., those of you who don't know, and I've talked about it before, this is a tax write-off. right? I'm not going to stop what I'm doing at work. It doesn't make sense for me to stop working in order to, live stream or do anything else because, number one, I don't have time, right? But if I wanted to replace work with this, I would have to have guaranteed a lot of money. It doesn't make sense, right? But a normal person would not make this choice and say, you know what, I'm going to go on the internet and beg for money, right? And tell people that it'll make other people mad. No. We want you to do it because it's content, because the lengths these people will go for $1. It's crazy whether they're, emptying bedrooms in order to make fake arcade, rooms or, stuff like this. Or like, hey, make the haters mad, donate to me. No, maybe there's some haters out there. No, this is what brings enjoyment. Watching these humans denigrate themselves, having so much privilege that they can consume so many calories that they weigh the weight of 2 people, and they have the balls to stand in front of you in front of thousands and thousands of dollars and tell you that you have to super chat, that you have to, hey, I want to rent this space right here. It's crazy. That would never happen in real life. You would start a business and you would be honest. You would not open a store and say, well, besides that, donate. Like if you want to buy something in school, but donate. Hey, do X, Y, or Z. I'm a capitalist, guys. I'm a capitalist that loves capitalism when there's an exchange of goods. I love products. The YouTube bracket requires you, right? If you want to have your channel open and not be, open to attack, what you have to do is live within the system, right? If you have spicy takes, you're going to have to put them behind a paywall because that's what the YouTube rewards. If if you're going to put tags on your products, that you can put them, you can sell your stuff or whatever you're using, whatever you're talking about. If they're good products, that's okay. But here we have a completely different animal, right? People are promoting products that they know don't work at the highest price possible, right? No human being out there that I know of, no normal human being that has a 6-figure household is going out there and saying, you know what, I'm going to spend my free time doing. I know I got a career. I know we got money. I know I got, thousands of dollars worth of product. I'm going to shield this. There's different ways of doing it. You could be a lot more ethical, but when it comes to this, when it comes to the YouTube brain, and you can't blame John D for this, these are people's choices that they make. It is weird and it is funny. But what's even funnier is when you call them out on this weird ass, unscrupulous behavior, they get a little upset, right? Now they're trying to own them. No. It cuts deep. It doesn't matter who you are. Somebody's questioning your integrity, and it's sure the hell everybody is when you're selling products that do not work. Your integrity is right in question, right? Nobody's gonna believe you. Nobody's gonna believe a game when he says A, Y, and Z, because there's always that specter of he's doing it for the money. It's about the money, and that's all it is, right? There is plenty of YouTubers out there that visually you can tell that they're in need, right? They only have emulation. They only have this. There's so many charities that you can contribute. There's so many things that you can do with your money. And people do that. That's why these guys have to come in and start, bringing up the super chats and the membership. What does Phil say? Super chats, memberships, super stickers, PayPal, send me anything. Everybody wants to be Dark Side Phil. Dignity is for sale. And that is always, and I mean always, going to be comedy gold. Especially when it comes from people that don't have to do it. You can understand people that have no other skills, that YouTube is it, right? It's YouTube or unemployment. And they're on the struggle every day. They're streaming this and that and the other. No, we're talking about some weird ass crap here where you have middle-aged men acting like teenagers, having cliques, getting mad when another YouTuber gets product, sabotaging channels. I mean, it is freaking weird, right? If you had a buddy like this, you would slap the shit out of him so he could wake up. But apparently, there's nobody around to do that. And the comedy is still going to go on. Does it bother them? Oh, it bothers them when we talk about this stuff because we're watching. What is your worth? What is your price? Right? We know the price of these fuckers. We do. It's $7.99. It's $8.99. That is what you're on sale for because you're willing, absolutely willing to lie when it's not necessary. If somebody had half a brain out there, they would say, hey, John's my boy. I want to support him. He's going through a tough time. Look, he's going to fix this. Right? It's bad right now. I'm not going to say it's good. It's bad. At least be honest with people, right? Because you're trying to save your buddy's company. I could respect that. People could understand that. Oh, but they're not understanding this bullshit. Because this is straight up BS. It's funny, and it's bothering them. It's killing them that people talk about this stuff. Now, I could sit here and tell you every individual's name. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be another one. When the game winning's gone, there's going to be another piggy out there that wants to, fill his gullet with super chats and doing all this crap. They will do whatever it takes to get on screen, whatever it takes to get popular, whatever it takes to get your money. Because they don't want to pay theirs. Doesn't matter how much money they have. And they have a lot. All right, humans. Just some food for thought, guys. There's a lot of charities out there, right? There's many products that you can buy. Capitalism is a great thing, but being full of crap is not. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.